evening. You're watching the Super Saturday Blade with me, Ridhima Bhatnagar. PTI chief and former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan was sentenced to 3 years prison in the Toshakhana case today. He stands disqualified for 5 years. The judge, Humayun Dilawar, wrote in the ruling that Imran Khan dishonestly has been established beyond doubt. He further said Imran Khan has been found guilty of corrupt practices by hiding the benefits he accrued from national exchequer willfully and intentionally. The former Prime Minister released a pre-recorded message for his followers asking them to not give up the fight. It said, "I have only one request, one appeal for you. You must not sit quietly inside your homes. The struggle I am doing is not for my own self. It is for the nation, for you, for the future of your children." But the larger question is, with the former Prime Minister behind bars, is this now the end of the road for the PTI, Imran Khan and his dream of Naya Pakistan?
मेरे पाकिस्तानियों, जब तक ये पैगाम आप तक पहुंचेगा, मुझे ये अरेस्ट कर चुके होंगे और मैं जेल में हूं। आपने घरों में चुप करके नहीं बैठना। मैं ये जो जद्दोजहद कर रहा हूं, ये अपनी जात के लिए नहीं कर रहा, ये अपनी कौम के लिए कर रहा हूं, आपके लिए कर रहा हूं। पुरअमन एहतजाज आपने करते रहना है जब तक कि आपको आपका हक नहीं मिलता, और वो सबसे बड़ा फंडामेंटल राइट है वोट के जरिए अपनी हुकूमत मुंतखब करना।
जो आज फैसला आया है उसको लोगों ने इंसाफ के तकाजों के बरक्स जाना है, और जो एक बुनियादी हक था इमरान खान का, एक फेयर ट्रायल का आर्टिकल 10A के तहत, वो मुयस्सर नहीं हुआ। मुझे इश्तराक की कैफियत का इल्म है और हमने सबने मिलकर उनकी आजादी के लिए अपनी जद्दोजहद जारी रखनी है।
Now, before we bring in our guests, just for the benefit of our viewers, we want to break down what is the Toshakhana corruption case in which the former Prime Minister finds himself behind bars for a time period of 3 years and a disqualification of 5 years. Now, viewers would remember that the PMNL government had filed a case against the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, in August 2022. At that time, the allegation was that there was non-disclosure on gifts that had been presented to the state depository. Now, Toshakhana stores gifts received by public officials. It is compulsory for officials to report these gifts that they receive. After becoming the Prime Minister, Imran Khan resisted disclosing all these details. Imran Khan claimed disclosure would impact ties with other nations, and later Imran Khan admitted to selling at least 4 such presents. Imran Khan claims he bought the gifts at percentage of value. And this is exactly the case that now finds the former Prime Minister in a lot of trouble and leaving him with the larger question, is there any political future left for him? Let's also now bring in our guests. We will shortly be joined by former diplomat Ashok Shahjanar, but we have Dr. Syed Elahi, senior PMNL leader. We also have Kamar Chima, strategic and political analyst. We should hopefully be joined by a PTI leader also very shortly. Gentlemen, good to have you with us here on CNN News 18. Kamar Chima, I'd like to begin the conversation with you. A lot that has happened over the last couple of hours. Of course, the PTI is still not giving up the fight. There is a pre-recorded message that has been released. We are now understanding there is some sort of hectic parlays that are happening. But should Imran Khan have seen this coming?
Well, definitely he was saying this as the improper handling of these state gifts by Imran Khan. At that time when Imran Khan was doing all these things, he was in power, and he realized that the entire state apparatus is with him. but he never realized that these weaknesses and were always covered by the state institutions. And he was in power. He was in power. He was having all that majority in the National Assembly because of the state institutions rather than because of his own political smartness. So, once he was out of power after the vote of no confidence, everybody realized that he will be punished, and there were so many cases against him. But this particularly case of Toshakhana, the merits of the case are there, but obviously this is not just the merit. Obviously, the political victimization is also there because he's facing more than 200 cases or around 200 cases. But that's what the politics is in the country. Back in 2018, with the support of the military establishment, he hosted the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. He came in power. He was willing and dealing with the military at that time, and right now he was the one who blamed the military for all the conspiracy against him that the Americans and the military involved. But what we have seen is that he has lost all political support from his lieutenants. The entire leadership of the party has left him. And he's just alone at his home and talking to his supporters via social media, and even and it has been months he has not gone to the political rallies. But I think this was all coming, and he knew this.
There seems to have been a tectonic shift, Kamar Chima, post the kind of events that we saw a couple of months ago where the PTI workers had taken to the streets. Before that, if you spoke to any expert, they had said that if elections were to happen today, there will be a clear win as far as Imran Khan is concerned. But post those protests that happened with the PTI workers indulging in vandalism, something changed overnight. And that is why I asked, should Imran Khan post those proceedings, should he have seen this coming? But let me bring our other guests also in the conversation. I want to bring in Syed Ilahi also in the conversation. Syed Ilahi, I'm sure you would have seen the multiple reactions that have been coming in from PTI and supporters of Imran Khan. The one question that everybody seems to be asking or wanting to ask is the manner in which the entire arrest happened. Now, many PTI leaders are claiming that the arrest happened 10 minutes after the verdict was declared, saying all of this was a pre-planned affair just to settle scores with Imran Khan because the current dispensation feels that if elections were to happen, there is no way of defeating the former Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. In fact, this case was 11 months old and 93 hearings took place. And in 93 times, Mr. Imran Khan only appeared for 3 times, and 47 times different applications were given in High Court and Supreme Court to stop and delay this case. But after 11 months, with great effort, because 2 witnesses, cross-examination, and all the legal procedures took place, so it was evident that it will have to be decided. So it was decided today, and expecting that decision will be against him, all arrangements were made already for police arrangements to control law and order and to shift him to jail and then to Adela jail. All arrangements were complete because in light of the case and the severity and the witnesses, cross-examination and the importance and sensitivity, so most of the government departments were ready. And you asked one more question about protest and reaction. You know, no protest and reaction took place in Pakistan, although it was different few months back, because the party was made in few days before 2000 elections, and more than 220 people deserted, parliamentarians. They left the party in 4 days. Even the Secretary General, the Vice President, the Acting President, all of them, they defected. And even today, people who are giving statements are just an eyewash, and they don't want to indulge into any protest, and they'll be more happier to take Imran Khan's place, like their Vice President, Mr. Shah Mahmood Qureshi. He will take over, and I think the next move will be, he will be accepted to different power corners, and he may, next elections, he may lead the party, and they will get some few seats. Because in 2013, PTI got 35 seats, and then 18, it increased manifold, more than 155 or 158. So same way, they have vanished. So the way they were made, the way they have now vanished, and the party is over. So I don't say that Imran Khan has lost his political support. He still enjoys political support, but the political support will not be transformed into the parliamentarian force. So he will not be able to get more members elected in elections because of certain reasons, and which are very obvious and part of culture of this country, like men, women, the brotherries, the tribes, areas, interests. So a lot of things, they affect the engineer.
We also are joined in by Ashok Sajjana, former diplomat. But before I go to him, I want to go back to Qamar Cheema to try and understand the events that actually led up to the arrest of Imran Khan. Many actually questioning the kind of events that have led up to his arrest. Now, just let's go back almost 2 to 3 weeks in time, Qamar Cheema. You had Shahbaz Sharif already coming out and saying our current government will not be completing its full term, so we'll be putting a caretaker government in place. There were talks possibly of Nawaz Sharif making a comeback as well. Then the arrest of Imran Khan happens 15 minutes post this verdict has come. Do you think the cards had already been laid out for this arrest and possibly the end of the political career of Imran Khan?
Well, I think there are many steps right now. For example, on Monday, the lawyers of Imran Khan can go to the High Court, and then there is a Supreme Court because the verdict has come from the lower courts, one thing. The second thing is that there is a probability that they can suspend his arrest warrants, and he may be a free man, but he can contest and he can go and fight for his case in the High Court.
This is one of the cases that the former Prime Minister has. There are hundreds of other cases. So even, this is at least my understanding, even if he gets a temporary relief in the Toshakhana case, what about the 100 other cases?
You are absolutely right. I think the central idea for having him behind the bars is not just having him behind the bars. The central idea is to making him a disqualified person so that he cannot contest the next elections. That is the central theme. This was what Imran did along with back with the Nawaz Sharif and the others. So if he's disqualified, if he is not disqualified and the courts undo this sentence, there's a probability some other thing can happen. And it seems that the elections in Pakistan, they may get delayed because just today, the government of Pakistan has come up with a new census results where after the census results there needs to be a delimitation, and and the government's tenure is ending by 9th of August this month. So it seems this is a very a tricky time, unfortunate situation, very muddy politics, and Imran Khan's fate has definitely been written. But in reality, Nawaz Sharif may come during that time, and we are also expecting the change of the Chief Justice in Pakistan, because the Chief Justice of Pakistan is considered one of the men who is somehow supporting Imran Khan.
But that is only till 17th of September, if I understand this correctly. After that, that's going to be changed.
Yeah, that is one of the dates we are looking. But it is being said that the moment the Chief Justice get changed, there is a probability Nawaz Sharif will come back to the country, and he will get a sufficient time to go for contesting elections. Imran Khan will be behind the bars.
So you're saying maybe it's really not the end of the road. Maybe there are some legal options that are still available, or remedies available for Imran Khan. Maybe he gets an interim relief. Maybe we're jumping the gun to say that this is the end of the road. So even if this is not the end of the road, I want to understand what is the future of Imran Khan and the PTI at large. And I want to bring in Ashok Sajjana also in the conversation. So thank you for patiently waiting. If one has to agree to what Qamar Cheema is saying, he's saying maybe we are jumping the gun. This is not the end of the road for Imran Khan. I want to understand, beyond Imran Khan, what does the PTI signify? What is this second range of leaders that we're talking about? And how come we're not seeing any of them in action today?
Yes, thank you very much, Ridhima, for having me on your show. I think the die has already been cast. The die had been cast quite some time ago. And to that extent, I agree with Qamar Cheema when he says that the whole idea of this trial and the verdict is that Imran Khan should not be allowed to contest the elections. So in addition to the 3-year jail term, there's also the provision that for 5 years, he'll not be able to engage in any political activity or, participate in any elections or become a member of any coalition government in Pakistan. So I think that is really, what needs to be looked at, what needs to be studied very carefully. I think as far as, your question is concerned about the second-rung leadership, I think all that second-rung leadership has really been put to aside by the powers that be, by the dispensation, the army, and the establishment. And they have made it very clear that, Imran Khan is not going to be allowed to participate in the elections in any way. And these are the statements, after the 9th of May, the violence, the arson, the protest demonstrations, the burning that took place, not only in Lahore cantonment, but in several parts of the country. I think this message went out very clearly from the army chief, Asif Munir, that this will not be tolerated. And I think this is one of those. I don't think that, even if relief were to be expected, by Imran Khan, because, it's not that the case goes to the High Court today and the High Court gives a judgment tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be hearing, there's going to be a long drawn out procedure. And, this is what Imran Khan had done himself with the army in 2018. He's talking now about the London plan to bring back Nawaz Sharif at the helm of affairs. So whatever happens, I don't think Imran Khan will be given an opportunity that to contest. And, once the Chief Justice of Pakistan goes away, then his biggest supporter for all these many years, I think he will be out of the way, and then the matter can proceed as the dispensation, the army and the civilian establishment, they want it to happen.
Ashok Sajjanara, I want to understand another aspect from you. Let's take a look at that pre-recorded message that was put out by the PTI leader. Of course, he said that I was anticipating arrest. That is why I've already recorded. By the time you see it, I possibly would have been in an undisclosed location. But if you look at the commentary, it's very, very interesting. He's asking the PTI leaders to take to the streets. He categorically says, do not sit silent at home, because I am not fighting this for myself. I'm fighting this for you and the future of your children. Let's compare this to what happened 2 months ago when the PTI workers, in fact, had taken to the streets and indulged in violence and vandalism. At that point, the PTI had said, we have nothing to do with it. These are some exterior elements that have been dropped on the ground. I want to understand, is Imran Khan wanting to instigate some sort of unrest on the ground? And also, why are we not seeing the kind of action one would have anticipated on the ground today? Comparatively, it's a lot calmer than the previous occasions.
Absolutely. You have posed very important questions, very pertinent, relevant questions, Ridhima. And, the message is very clear that at that time, of course, he had asked the people to come out on the streets, and they did come out, and they have seen what the response, what the reaction of the army is, and what the reaction of the government has been. And many of these leaders, whether it is, all the top leadership of PTI, they were taken behind bars, they were kept there, and once they came out, they gave confessions that they are no longer going to be associated with the PTI. And even as far as the ordinary workers of the PTI, I think the message has gone out very clearly to them that if they were to indulge in similar kind of hooliganism and violence and arson, then the government, the establishment will come down very heavily upon them. So I don't think that it is going to get the same reaction, the same response. His video message, he has not said that let these protests be peaceful. But in his Twitter message, in his message on the X platform, he has said that you should maintain peace. Even the PTI leaders, for whatever little that they count, they have also said that it should be peaceful protests and peaceful demonstrations, because they know that any type of violence that occurred on the 9th of May, that it will be dealt with very strongly and very harshly. That is why you see that there are people, there might be few sporadic protests and demonstrations in some of the major countries, but we are not going to see anything of the nature of what happened in May, when he was arrested the first time. And that is why you would see, that he has been, it has been possible to arrest him. Otherwise, before this, you would recall that there were several warrants of arrest that were issued against him. none of them could be implemented because all his supporters
Yeah.
would come around his house and they would not allow the
Yeah, that's why
police to come
it
in
sounded
and
way too convenient to see police officials reach Zaman Park, pick up Imran Khan, and we didn't see any sort of retaliation as far as the PTI is concerned. But I want to bring in Dr. Syed Elahi back in the conversation. Now, Imran Khan, of course, has been making a lot of tall claims over the last few months that he's the only savior as far as Pakistan is concerned. He has a dream and vision for Naya Pakistan. The only reason the ruling dispensation in the military want him behind bars because they know that he's a real threat. Just a couple of days ago, he said that he's the only leader who did not bow down to the pressure as far as the Pak military is concerned. Do you think that was a realization within the current dispensation that if elections were to be held, Imran Khan would give them a run for their money?
I think Mr. Imran Khan, he ruled for 3.5 years, but I think there was no positive progress or not a single project took place in his tenure. And so I think after 3.5 years, when he was removed through no confidence move, since then, from almost 1 year and a few months, he was on a confrontational politics. Since then, he was trying to instigate people to bring them on the streets, which was mentioned earlier that on 9th May, what happened, everybody has seen. And then after that, when people realized that it will not work, and his parliamentarians, his party men, his office bearers, they left him within hours after this incident. And then also the workers, because, you know, workers are led by the leaders. Once leaders, they leave the party, they change their tracks, they change their routes, the workers follow them. And as I told you before, that still Imran Khan has some support and popularity in people, but those who will only vote. But in Pakistan, the election engineering is different. As I told you before, that Mr. Imran, after him or with him, in coming elections, he will not be able to transform his force into parliament. So I think the whole scenario is different now. After his punishment, or maybe other cases, or maybe disqualifications, or more punishments, or more convictions. So my friend was saying that he can be bailed out, but it's not bail out because he has been convicted. So the punishment can be suspended and then can be considered in the High Court or then in the Supreme Court. But I think normally in such cases where people are convicted, their convictions are not suspended. They are basically having the right to appeal, and it takes time, as it was mentioned earlier. Another thing is that Mr. Imran Khan knew very well from core of his heart that what is happening. And from last 3 months, he was very clear about his fate. So that's why he was recording messages on different social media and even on Twitter. That I will do this thing, I will do this thing. And he was telling people that they should be all peaceful. Once the whole plan collapsed, the confrontational politics, the agitation didn't work, then obviously they have to adopt this way, to tell people to be peaceful and maintain law and order. But I think, as you said before,
you feel as far as the legal remedies are concerned, you feel that, you know, possibly Camp Imran Khan has run out of them. My other concern is that even if he gets relief in the Toshakhana case, as I pointed out earlier, there are 100 other cases against the former Prime Minister. But I'll just request our guest to stay on with us. We're also getting a reaction coming in from Shandana Gulzar Khan, who's a PTI leader. It's important to hear what the PTI wants to say at this point, and more importantly, do they see this as the end of the road for Imran Khan? Let's play out that reaction.
Thank you for those questions. Today marks another black day in the history of Pakistan, the previous one being the 9th of May, with the duly and properly elected Prime Minister of Pakistan, Chairman Imran Khan of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, is again illegally abducted. The case against him, frivolous at best. All legal safeguards, constitutional safeguards ignored. The decision on his arrest given 4 weeks ago in Facebook memes and posts. This is a human tragedy of epic proportions playing out on our screens. Prime Minister Imran Khan's only crime is that he cares for his people, he cares for the Constitution, he cares for inclusivity, his people, and that he wants an independent Pakistan free of neo-colonial influences, where Pakistan's interest comes first, second, and third. What you've witnessed in Pakistan since last year, April, since his ouster, where people were bought and sold like cattle, that day and till today, we have faced unprecedented economic and climate disaster one after the other. The party which is cobbled together by leaders who are part of dynasties and not any democratic alliance or any democratic criterion have understood the power of the man on the street. The man on the street.
So that's an important reaction that's coming in. One of the first reactions that we are seeing, speaking in detail of how the PTI sees the arrest of Imran Khan. Kamar Chima, it's important to see the kind of language and messaging that is still being used by the PTI leaders. I don't see any of them saying that we don't know what we'll do beyond Imran Khan, we'll take to the streets. They're all extremely poised, at least as of now, saying that he was the only savior of Pakistan, and they're comparing it that if not Imran Khan, look at what's happening with Pakistan. There is a political crisis, there is an economic crisis, God knows what's next.
Well, I think she's right to the point, because Imran Khan has not created any second and third-tier leadership in the party. He promised for having intra-party elections and to make his party a strong institution and not a dynastic politician. That was where he was targeting the other political parties and politicians. But in reality, obviously, there will not be any dynasty because Imran Khan's sons are in London. But the question is, his party is not any institution and he's a one-man show. So being a populist leader, he was not listening to any democratic forum, even within his own party and even within the parliament. So that is one of the biggest failures, and he was looking towards to the military, and he was looking towards the Supreme Court and to the judges for his rescue rather than looking towards the political forces. So the lady is absolutely right, because they have no institutional apparatus in the party or inside the party. So this is a one man. So this is Imran Khan, the PTI. If he's no more in the politics, or if he's disqualified, there is no party. And the decisions will be taken by Imran Khan if he's even in the jail. So very unfortunate as well for Pakistan's politics. The only party that emerged on the slogan of having intra-party elections, but they ended up as another like other parties.
We'll really have to see what this means as far as the future of political future of Pakistan is concerned, especially as far as Imran Khan is concerned. I'll have to leave that conversation there. Appreciate speaking to all our guests. Well, with that, it's a wrap from my side. And from tomorrow, CNN News 18 has a new destination. Stay tuned, a new chapter begins from tomorrow.